About to start one more Friday Live. Biatch. Why the fuck is this not working? I wonder. Alright guys, let me get things started up here. How are you all doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. Today's subject of the live is the use of the thumb. Many different techniques for you to use the thumb. I'm about to start playing here. Some stuff for you guys. Alright. Yo, yo. There's 3 people watching. Bob, Emerson, and me. I'm famous. It's awesome to be famous. Oh my God. All right. Well, guys, let's see if somebody else comes up. So guys, welcome. Today's live is going to be about the thumb. I'm going to talk about specifically the pick slanting technique taken from the gypsy jazz tradition, but on the nylon string classical guitar used by the thumb. So what is this pick slanting technique? It's a very effective and very specific technique that consists in doing this. you're always going to be leaning down the thumb, always on whatever string. You're never going to be holding it in the air. You're always leaning down, always in favor of gravity. So that also favors the downstroke. The easiest thing about doing this technique is, of course, the sweep in a downwards motion. For example, this. So I'm doing, always leaning, after I play a note, I always lean down to the next note, and lean down to the next, and so on. Okay, we got some people here. All right, Elias, 7-string guitar, hard to play. No, it's actually easier to play. Actually easiest. We got, who's Robert? Okay, Carl, on fire. All right, Carl, are you on fire? Okay, so the pick slanting technique. The easiest thing to do with it is that you can alternate just like a pick. And you can sweep downwards. But the hardest thing to do with it, which is something that we have to address specifically in our studies, in our practice, is going downwards in an arpeggio, upwards physically. So you would have to practice this motion right here, doing downstrokes. Because we don't really sweep with the thumb. We don't do that. However, sometimes I consider doing it. But here is the... Okay, so I'm going to show you a variety of phrases doing the pick slanting technique. This would be, for example, using your fingers on a series of minor 7 arpeggios, for example. When you're playing with your fingers, it's hard to sweep upwards like that. But it's harder, however, to go down. And then now I'm going to do it with the pick slanting technique like this. With this technique, it's actually easier to swing, to imply a jazz swing feeling. Probably because you do a lot more downstrokes, so it's easier to have punch, pressure, and control. But it does require that you have a good muscle memory. So the first exercise that I'm going to show you guys is doing this arpeggio 1, 2, 3, 5, and then we're going to go downwards on it. And notice what happens here is the hardest part, which is the reason for this exercise, is you have a triple downstroke going up strings like this. See, I'm doing 3 strings but downstrokes. All right, so that's the thing. And then let's build a 2-5-1 phrase with this. You got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Could be it. So I got D minor, G, C. Okay, that's an easy phrase. And then having this is something you would hardly be able to do it with your fingers. I mean, it's still possible, but this, there's just so much more punch. It's like using a pick, but with the thumb. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay? And then once I arrive on C, I'm gonna do an arpeggio. Like that. Okay, so here's the phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. One difficult thing, however, when you use this technique is that as opposed to holding a pick, when you're just using your thumb, and by the way, I do use here this finger leaning here to give my hand some stability. It happens sometimes that the strings will start to ring, especially when you play a note that coincides with the note of the open string or any of its harmonics, like the perfect fifth of that string, it will start vibrating. So in order to keep it from vibrating, I will use a bar, but I'm not using the bar to play notes. I'm using the bar to shut the guitar. So I have this. See what my finger is doing right here? That is so that the D string doesn't ring when I do this. Otherwise, you start getting vibration. So. See? So it's a way that you have to learn how to tame the instrument. Just by doing it a lot, you begin developing that reflex of sometimes using this finger here to stop it from vibrating. What shape should the thumbnail have so that it doesn't hook when doing that high speed? Well, guys, my thumbnail is shaped just like, nothing special. Just grow it out, and then you file it a little bit on this side right here, so that it doesn't catch. So if you're facing your thumb like I am right here, the left side should be filed a little bit, so that the thumb can slide like a pick. Now I'm going to show you a phrase here. Once we do that, just running by this arpeggio here, I got 7-1, 3-5, 7-2. And then the 7-2 is an encapsulation of 1. 7-2-1. So I'm encapsulating it. So I got this. And then from this one, I arpeggiate again. 1, 3, 5, 7. And then I'm encapsulating the 6. See? Encapsulating means play the content before and after, or below and above, and then the target. So I have this in line. Okay? And then I'm going to do something that's very convenient for the use of the thumb. It is with any phrase that you play an even number of notes. In order to get an even number of notes per string, when I say even number, I mean per string. Why is it good to do an even number? Because an even number means you will have gone down and back up. If you finish using a string with an upstroke, that's the ideal situation, because then you don't have to do the double downstroke. If you finish a string doing an upstroke, it means that whatever string you attack next is going to be a downstroke. So in order to do that, the easiest way is to play all notes twice. Like this, for example. I'm going to do a simple arpeggio, playing twice. And then that's very convenient for the thumb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the 6 here, or 5 of 2, using that in that fashion. But with the thumb. As part of this phrase, okay, it's going to be the next chord. So I got this. Okay, here I go. Here's the phrase coming up. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should do more time on G major, G dominant. That's pretty hard to do, but so that's just some phrasing using the thumb. There's several exercises for you guys to develop that. The first way I would start is simply by doing arpeggios, like the one I was just showing, D minor. notice there's a lot of double downstrokes here. When I do, I re-attack the downstroke because, and this works because of this. As you're moving down these three notes, the muscle that's being used from my arm to play these notes is actually my very arm that's moving down. I'm just letting gravity do the work. My thumb is not doing any work. And whenever I repeat the note, it's actually the first time that I'm going to use the thumb muscle to reach for that note. That's why it's not a problem to play a double downstroke, because one downstroke is made by your arm going down, and the other one is actually made by the thumb. So you have this, another double down is the third and fifth here. So you got right there. I have down, 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 and then a repeated downstroke with the thumb. Right? So I got this. Now a G dominant arpeggio. One of the greatest exercises that's actually hard to do to develop this thumb idea is the gypsy phrase that Jimmy Rosenberg as well as Stockel Rosenberg, they use this a lot. It's on a dominant chord. I used this very phrase on a solo that I did in my YouTube channel in the tune After You've Gone, but I used the fingers, not just the thumb. So with the fingers, it's easier. It goes like this. Right? Let me see how this image is showing up for you guys here. So here's the phrase. What's happening in this phrase here is I got a chromatic from 9 to 1 using 3 fingers, and then the arpeggio 7, 5, 3, 1. Another chromatic from 1 to 7. So I got this. Okay, but now with the thumb, that becomes especially hard because when you got 3 notes, the last stroke is down. So I'm going to have a double downstroke. See? So this is full of situations where you have to do a double downstroke going upwards physically. So that's the hardest thing you could run against. And it's the best to practice because it's the most difficult to do. And so you should try to face those situations like that in your practice time so that whenever they come up when you're really playing, performing, you're ready to go. It's not as good to keep trying in your practice to create situations to run away from those hard situations, because then you're really sort of limiting yourself and not building the technique. So I'm going to execute this phrase. That's 9, flat 9, 1, 7, 3, 7, 5, 3, and then from the 5 to the 3. I'm going to execute it a few times just as an exercise. That's great practice. Pay attention to this point right here. That's the nucleus, that's the main point of the exercise. And then here, there, you're going downwards with 2 downstrokes. If you want to see this being done in action by a master, look up Stockel Rosenberg or Jimmy Rosenberg. These 2 guys are probably my favorite jazz guitar players, specifically from the Gypsy Jazz School they happen to come from, which is my favorite jazz school, by the way. I mean, I do love the modern electric stuff from guys like Adam Rogers and such. But this is just so cool. You know, whenever you have a nicely played gypsy jazz guitar by a master, it's always fun to hear. So you got this going on. Again. Here I'm doing when I'm going up, I'm doing a chromatic approach to the third, right there. So I'm going to try to solo a little bit, maybe do a little rhythm changes. That would be cool. But I didn't set myself up here with the speaker, but I'm just maybe solo by myself. And I'm going to strictly use the thumb technique, okay? So for those of you guys who don't know the rhythm changes progression, it goes like so. Wow, that almost gave me cramps here in my arm. I guess that sucked because people started to leave. But I'm just trying here, guys. I'm not showing something that I'm a master of, but I'm trying to display an idea of a technique that can be quite efficient, especially, for example, when I played a 2-note per string arpeggio here on F7. It wasn't really an arpeggio, it was a pentatonic scale for a dominant chord. I did. So that's pretty cool. Because you got 2 notes per string. So whenever you find 2 notes per string, you can just wail because it favors the whole idea, you know, of using the thumb as a pick, because you got down, up, down, up. Going up. No. Right? One thing that I definitely need to practice is when I decided to try to hit the phrase over here. That's definitely hard to do. So. Guys, you need to participate with me because I'm just here playing, waiting for questions and nobody's asking anything. So then it becomes like just practicing by myself. Notice how I'm playing this note with the bottom of my finger 1 so that I can hold the strings from vibrating. I could talk about the subject of the rhythm changes as I'm talking about the use of the thumb, because it's definitely a challenging harmony that we should all spend time with. And by the way, guys, you should feel welcome to show your support with that little money sign button down there. All right. So here is playing very slowly over the rhythm changes this time. I'm going to try to play slowly so I can play better notes. All right. Selim, how do you determine where to play a downstroke when you go from up to down? Well, you play it every time. You start every string with a downstroke. Start every string by a downstroke. And then you only play an upstroke if it's the second stroke on that string. That's the only situation in which you play an upstroke. So here we go. Ah, that was good. Ah. Sorry guys, try to do a 2-5 to 4 here, and then a sharp diminished. Any questions? Look close on the thumbnail. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can close on the thumbnail. Sure. Is this close on the thumbnail? Let's do it. 1, 2. This is the rhythm changes, guys. The same progression as in Flintstones, Ornithology, Oleo, all these tunes. So you got B flat, G7, C minor, F7, B flat again, G7, C minor, F7, and then you got 2-5 to E flat, F minor, B flat, E flat, E natural diminished, and back to A, and then you have the B. So that's A B A. The B section is D7, G7, C7, and F7. So here we go. You can always go back to this video later, okay, guys? 1, 2, 2, 3. practice here. I want to do a little lick that I've been fucking up every time. It's a F minor. This is a what I call a 2-1-2 because you got two notes, and then one note and two notes. Two notes, one note, two notes. Two notes, one note, two notes. So it's like this. Yeah, it's something like that, but doing with the thumb really hard. Because you gotta have that double downstroke here. Down, down. Again. That's coming better. That's the biggest challenge for the double downstroke, guys. For the thumb, pick slanting with the thumb, it is the double downstroke whenever you have that situation, which happens right here. There. Here, double, 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 double. When I say double, I mean down, 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 down. So, and then the dominant guy. So going up like this, downwards physically, is actually pretty easy. But now the problem is here. That double downstroke. There. Again. It happens also here. It's here. Double down. Down, down. Developing that technique is a really hard thing to do. I should even get a little filing going on here because maybe the nail is too thick. I should try to file the surface to get it going faster. Any questions, guys? You guys have been so quiet today. I wish I could have a little more participation from y'all. Feel free to send some monetary participation now that I have earned the super chat feature in these lives. You guys can make me rich. You don't know how rich I've been. I got so much money. I've been doing these lives just because I want to help the world. Because I could be just in my island right now, in my helicopter. But I'm so cool, I decided to help the world instead of being chilling in my island. All right, so there's another little lick that I made. One of these moments was for the dominant. It goes like this. Again. This is one of the coolest ones because it has 4 notes per string, and that again favors the pick slanting. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And this, you just have to obey that pattern. You're on the dominant chord, so I'm playing on top of the Mixolydian scale. I got 1 through flat 7, responded with a 9. And then I got here from 6 to 5, respond with a 7. And then I got from 3rd to 2. So you just gotta look for these places in the scale where you have 2 notes 1 step apart so you can tie them chromatically. Like. Again. A little faster. Nope. Then you can do a little. This is a 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. let's go back to that progression. All right, you guys wrote some stuff here. How can I do a big chord on the guitar like a super Lydian chord? How can I do a big chord on guitar like a super Lydian chord? Bro, I don't know. Very difficult licks to play. Great when you slow them down. Okay, so slow them down. Here it is. That's the main thing. Right? This is the main thing of the lick. And then you take that pattern around, obeying the scale. And then from 9 to 1. Respond with a third. I actually searched for the note of this lick. I didn't learn it from anybody. I sort of created it from this. This is where it was born from. That was the lick I got it from. I got it from Jamie Abersole. Once I got that, I thought to myself, how can I continue this lick? So then I found out. ¿Por qué el portavasos? Oh, this is right here, you mean? So you just take this lick, you take this. When will the next group of the world course? Oh my God. Guys, I got you something to let you know. Floripa Bengals just asked a question here. He's one of my students. And I was telling him that on June 23rd, I'm going to be opening a new group of world music guitar from June 23rd until June 30th. It's 7 days during which you can sign up for the next group of the world music guitar course. So did I answer your question? Okay. That's the lick, and I'm going to try to apply it over the progression again. 1, 2, 1, 2. About playing in the rhythm changes is catching the diminished chord. Okay, the guy just asked me to play like Django Reinhardt. Well, why should I try that if I got 4? Here it is. Let's see what time it is. Okay. So. Maybe I'm not going to take up, okay, I'm going to try to take up that challenge just because you are here with me, Leonard. Here's the Django thing. use like this. That's enough of that. The hardest thing about playing in the rhythm changes for me is catching that diminished change. It's always kind of difficult because you got 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, and then 2, 5 to 4. You got 2, 5, 4, and the 4 diminished. And then you're back on 1. You can do a blues phrase. So, this is a guy from Oscar Peterson last week. So I'm going to try to catch that diminished chord right there. 1, 2, 2, 3. Hey, thank you, iMusic. I got a truck here in front of my house. I'm gonna close the window. Are you serious? Man, all right. So here we go. iMusic Academy. Would you like to ask any questions? I appreciate your donation. You can always ask something, it stays on top. Lo siento por la pregunta, tocas muy bien. No problem, brother. This here is a return so that you can hear the vibration straight onto your ear. It makes the guitar sound louder. That's what it is, okay? Here it is. No, this is, hold on. That's what I want to do. The F minor right here to B flat 7. That's it. That's the idea. And then I need a diminished to B flat. So, no. Yeah. Hey, Kurt, I appreciate that, man. My buddies are here, saving my butt from getting kicked out of from my landlord. Questions, guys. I must be taking off actually right now. This is the last minute, so I appreciate you guys being here. Very helpful live. Thank you. Oh, I'm just trying to show the idea of using the thumb as a pick. That's today's idea of the live going. Ah, that's the idea, guys. The next one, you can do giant steps or some interesting. Okay, okay. All right, Leonard. Well, how about this? Give me $5 and I'll do giant steps for you next time. Do you ever miss the pick when using your thumb as a pick? No, actually, I grabbed the pick one of these days and it felt weird. That's pretty funny, isn't it? I totally forgot how to play with a pick. Giant steps with 2 fingers, $5. That's great. That's great, guys. Yeah. I want you all to ask questions, but you have to pay. I got a gig, and it pays. One of my friends here, his name is Bob. He's under iMusic Academy. And he was there with me when it all started, when I was in college. And I was 17, just about to turn 18 years old, and I had flew to America to do a college to get a jazz degree. And me and one of my buddies called Kevin, we started going around to these places trying to get gigs. And finally, one day I walked in one of these bars and I asked to play a gig, and the guy actually booked me. I was pretty lucky because I was like a kid, you know, I was 17, maybe 18 years old. So I went around telling all my buddies, like, who were 2 people, Bob and Kevin. And I told them, very proud of myself, I said, guys, I got a gig and it pays. And it became a joke between us because I guess I wasn't too used to getting gigs. So getting a gig that paid was hilarious. Hey, man. Thank you for that, man. That's you're gonna get me another island with that. I'm gonna buy another island. Thank you for that, guys. I appreciate you a lot, really do. All right, I gotta fly now. My helicopter is just outside waiting, so I'm gonna do that. All right, and I gotta take care of my investments. Another gig that pays. It's been this life has been more hilarious than anything else. All right, guys, I love you all. Be with me here every Friday. Make sure to sign up or I'll kill you. All right, bye-bye. Make sure to